It was a night like any other in Memphis, Tennessee. The city of stars. I had just wrapped up my first uncomfortably misogynistic interaction of the night. The city is a dame of sorts. Cold at night when I take the blankie, and I have a bad relationship with her mother who scrutinizes me for not having any passive income sources. In this case, the mother is the debt collection agency. I was about to forget how to smoke and swallow my cigarette when I saw the dame. Flowing hair like a gentrified Brooklyn Shih Tzu, legs that went all the way up and then all the way back down with private parts in there somewhere. I wish I knew where. I had to ask.
Where are your private parts? The ones they used to make the babies.
Detective, what?
I said, what are you here for? I don't have time for questions.
What did you say? What did you say before that? What?
You're getting hung up on the details because of menopause or something. You're hysterical.
Did you ask me where my vagina is?
So that's what it's called, huh? I'll have to write that down.
Your cigarette isn't even lit.
It's a pencil that I cut in half with scissors.
So you were smoking that before I got here?
Doc says I have an oral fixation.
Okay, well, I came here because of a man.
Just like every other woman in this city, huh? This is why women don't talk to me. I mean, I don't talk to women.
There are only women in your waiting room.
Get out of my sight. You're wasting your time.
I was literally going to pay you for your time. You're a business.
Fine. I'll hear you out, but make it quick.
There's this man, Nick Foster.
Nick Foster? Doesn't ring a bell.
That's what everyone says. He's a 37-year-old Floridian man. Calls himself the CEO of Sarcasm, Satire, and Mockery.
So he owns a company for sarcasm, satire, and mockery?
I don't think he's the CEO. That's not a real company.
Impersonation, then. All right, you've got my attention. So what did he do? Kidnap your child? Murder? No. Arson.
It's something much worse than that, Detective. Take a look.
What time period are we in? Because I thought this was the 50s, but you just handed me an iPhone. What's happening? So this is him, huh? And he's guilty of what crime?
He's so fucking boring. Hello, disgruntled white males ages 14 to 24 struggling with ostracization from social circles. Welcome back to the biannual local art house cinema showing of Fight Club. Before we get started, I would like to enter today's video with a swing ready to barter. My proposal is please stop saying things about Dune at all. For people like me who are busy thinking about having sex one day and avoiding AMC theaters because of that one incident with a Zootopia rabbit cutout, it's disorienting. Why did you read Dune? Huh? Reading Dune is like sinking your teeth into a brick. Just admit it, you wanted to be more intellectual about seeing a movie with Timothée Chalamet and Zendaya. That casting has something for everyone, whether you like beautiful people or a young papier-mâché model of a Tim Burton character who is brought to life on midnight every year to film movies. Okay, on to Nick Foster. Alright, get your billy clubs and or saddles ready, because today we are beating a dead horse. Wait, why are you getting your saddles? Are you gonna be on the horse while I'm beating it down? Get down from there. Shelter your jockeys in case they've developed an emotional connection with their noble steed. Yeah, I never trust anyone who's close with horses. That guy definitely fucked Seabiscuit. And horse girls? Oh, they're on thin ice. And they're landing triple pirouettes like they're gonna get away with it forever. Well, what leads us to today's video? Other than Leafy is here pushing the most demented series of dominoes known to man. Well, ever since I was a young Ever since I was a young stir, I've enjoyed the stylings of off-color comedy. Not dark comedy, necessarily, okay? If for no other reason than whenever I tried it, I would accidentally say something really offensive, and I'd feel bad, and then I'd have to apologize. It's like with black ice, you know? You overcorrect and steer out of the skid, and the car crashes anyways, and then you wake up in a hospital, and your friend is asking you, hey, why did you think it would be funny to send a dead baby joke to the political discussion club group chat? I don't know. It seemed insightful and subversive in the moment. How was I supposed to know it was pro-life debate day? I'm a freshman. I just learned how to tie my shoes and dot my I's. And you think I understand the intricacies of a Google Calendar? Whenever I hear jokes about things that I don't necessarily know, I remember them as like pieces of information. So if you ever actually hit black ice, do not try to steer out of the skid. This is to say that dark humor was a torch handed to me by the comedic greats. You know, people like Dave Chappelle. Okay, maybe not that one anymore, actually. Somebody not transphobic. Dark humor was handed to me by the greats like Louis C.K. No, that is way worse. Holy shit, I am digging a comfortable grave for myself. Dark humor was handed to me by some of the comedy greats like Chris D'Elia. No. Oh, fuck. I forgot that the stand-up scene is a corpse infested with the maggots that are middle-aged men. Yeah, we really need to fix that shit very badly. Dark humor, torch, handed to me by comedic greats that aren't those guys. A torch which I stumbled aimlessly with until I happened upon a delightful torch holder called Gaining Sentience and Turning 15. Side note, why are torch holders always angled so consistently in video games and movies? Like when characters are exploring caves, they're all just like evenly. Like bullshit, did the Caucasus Mountains have a have a fucking interior designer. Yet always, without fail, 30-degree angle, sticking out triumphantly from the stone walls, placed like rustic lighting in a gentrified pizza parlor. On my journey through life, after having put down this torch, I have learned many things, such as making friends is hard, and getting a partner is harder. Because how am I supposed to explain to my live-in girlfriend that Video Game Donkey revisiting his review of Death Stranding is more important to me than voting for any government official in any election, local or federal? But I'd say one of the most important things I have learned in my time moving through consciousness is that trolling is not as funny as I thought it was, and that being offensive is also not as funny as I thought it was. And today we are going to get into the offensive boredom of resident internet soy boy, Nick Foster.
You've seen us talk about this shit 100 times, but you'll watch it cause you care about the content. Oh!
Yeah, so today we're talking about Nick Foster. Now that I had started to write the script at this point, I realized that I barely want to talk about him. To clarify, he is 6'5", so I am punching up this whole time, if only by 3 inches. Okay, so who is Nick Foster? Nick Foster is what happens when a human being is raised in captivity, and its only contact with the outside world is Leafy is Here videos. He's Keemstar's estranged, less successful brother, the demeanor of a local Fox broadcaster, and the looks of a lint roller covered in breadcrumbs. He's the stepdad who your childhood friend hated, the amalgamation of brain scans of what people think of when they see the words Florida man, the CFO of soy facing, the Joker if he fell into a vat of flour and Rogaine. I don't know if I can explain this properly, but he looks like a fucking baseball. We gave artificial intelligence the phrase predatory Eggman, and this is the art that it made for us. He emerged from a cauldron full of Grey Goose vodka and sriracha, the mug of a washed-up Let's Player from 2013, and the brain of one of his 12-year-old viewers. Off-brand Halloween costume model for a Party City store brand pirate fit. The kid outside the gymnasium while you're taking the SAT, who's wearing a leather jacket, and you can audibly hear him arguing with the proctor about why he should be able to start the test late. My character from MLB 2K12. He's the guy in a movie who makes jokes loudly because, quote-unquote, the audience loves him. If you press a tortilla against a mannequin for 45 minutes, this is the face you'll get when you remove it. They drain sweat from this man to create a scented candle called unsolicited republicanism. If you run your hand through his hair, hundreds of thousands of xenophobic lice crawl into your fingernails. He is the father of pseudo-intellectual morality system Fosterian logic. He is a pile of dandruff and Axe body spray that came to life when struck by lightning off of the Jersey Shore. Just to inform you, he will respond to all of these insults by like sarcastically agreeing with them, like, yeah, that is me. Yeah, that's me, and I'm worse actually. Like, okay, cool. You're a very interesting and funny person, Nick. Nick is a conservative demagogue for the Roblox generation. A Trumpy through and through for over 5 years now, which says a lot to have taken L's for 5 years and to still pull for the same team. He was also like a 2015 your military cousin type Trumpy. He has a lot of Instagram posts from the Las Vegas Strip and pictures of beaches. Had he been one brain cell shorter, he would have posted a photo of his ballot to Parler and gotten his entire vote thrown away. And he has been rationing brain cells his entire life, as the steam engine that powers his brain has been slowly killing them, like when you submerge your head in a jacuzzi. I have been debating making this video because I really don't want the attention of Nick Foster, and I also really don't care about him that much. I mean, I'm not the first person to make a video on him, or the second, or the third, or the fourth. You know what? Forget it. But I don't think anybody else has really hammered down what bothers me about this guy. He has accumulated, what, hundreds of thousands of followers on TikTok, tens of thousands on Instagram. His YouTube and Twitter are more of an uphill battle, but those are harder platforms to grow, so I understand. Also, you can't make a Twitter account if you're under 13, so most of his audience is out right there. And Twitter growth is difficult when every single one of your tweets is a B-side one-liner from a 1980s comedy vinyl you found in a dumpster behind a Petco. Yeah, people constantly criticize this guy for a laundry list of offenses. I'll read you some of them. Being a hypocrite, misinterpreting their arguments, being bigoted, being transphobic, being offensive, being racist, not giving jokes about minorities, being misogynistic, being bigoted, jokes about himself. He's boring. He's really boring. That's what I don't like that people don't criticize him about. He's not interesting at all. He's uninventive, repetitive, uncaptivating, kind of pathetic, and really hard to watch. And I don't mean this hyperbolically. When I was writing the script, I laid my head down at my desk multiple times because, like, I was just scrolling through his content and couldn't take it. I was actively tapping out. I had a tally mark list of all of my deep sighs, like I was counting down the days left in prison in a movie. Not once did I feel genuinely offended or upset by one of his videos, just like annoyed and inconvenienced maybe. Nick sees himself as a troll, and I think definitionally he fits that with a few added things. First of all, a troll is a person who says something offensive or provocative to elicit a response from others. That is true. But Nick isn't just saying these things to stir up people. He is also saying them because he believes them. He's not out here saying like, oh, I don't like trans people, I'm gonna say slurs because it's okay. Just because it gets on people's nerves. He agrees with a good amount of the words in his videos. And that's fine. You know what? Nick is not the brightest bulb in the LED multicolored light strip you can purchase from Amazon. Although he does have a history of software engineering, which is crazy because I always assumed he was making his bank by playing the unlikable older brother in every single 80s movie reboot. Sorry if I sound low energy talking about him. It's just every single time I see this man, I feel like I'm walking into a math class with an overtly predatory substitute teacher. Something weird though is that like 2 or 3 leftists who have criticized Nick for being a weirdo have been real life predators. So a note for criticizing people for being creepy is don't also be a predator. Pretty simple. That negates your impact. Actually, I'm gonna go a step further here. Don't be a predator at all. I shouldn't have to say this, but leftist men get 50,000 followers on TikTok and decide to stalk their prey like a saber-toothed tiger. No. Bad. Don't do that. Stop. I should not have to say this. Leftist men, get your shit together, or I'm going to be forced to set bear traps around your house and put a fucking muzzle on you. Yeah, so Nick Foster is a conservative comedian. He calls himself the CEO of Satire, Sarcasm, and Mockery. Whatever that means. If somebody has CEO of blank in their profile, I immediately zone out everything they say. I thought we moved past that phrasing when we stopped putting like the fairy sparkle heart emojis around like, oh, insults in comments. I don't know. So since I've been blabbering for a good amount of time now on Nick Foster, I figured that I would reach out to some of my dear friends to put some words together on Nick Foster. So please enjoy their comments.
Nick Foster is just Flubber from the movie Flubber without any of the redeeming qualities of Flubber.
A menace to society.
What happens when somebody who's pregnant drinks Monster Energy every single day for month 3 of their pregnancy and refuses to tell their doctor about it?
Nick Foster is a lot like that movie Big, starring Tom Hanks, except instead of it being a somewhat sweet kid transformed into an adult's body, he's an edgelord high schooler pandering to other high schoolers in an adult body.
His content consists entirely of dunking on queer people for the approval of 14-year-old boys.
Nick Foster. Now that's a guy who fucks.
Just an absolute lifeless blob of a man. It's like if Robin Williams wasn't the scientist in this movie and instead it was Ben Stein. Now the first and only time I've ever interacted with Nick Foster was earlier this year when I had a YouTube audience of about 3,000 and I joined his Twitch stream for a live interview in front of about 80 people. Now despite the fact that a scrawny unemployed 21-year-old with a tiny YouTube audience may be the most unintimidating creature on the entire planet, Nick Foster still finds himself shaky voiced in the wet cave that is his mother's basement.
That is a guy who slays pussy round the clock.
The same effect can be achieved if immediately upon childbirth and cutting the umbilical cord, the baby is put in a sensory deprivation tank, has a Reddit account made for it, and is deprived of human contact for 30 days.
In a sad old man's Louder with Crowder, which I guess is just Louder with Crowder, but it's even worse than that, which shows you how bad it is. Except even Steven Crowder can find annoying friends to surround himself with for emotional support, whereas Nick Foster can't even get his own wife to back him up when he gets into online arguments with kids who comment on his TikTok from their high school history class.
He's so funny too. He does dark humor, which is when you tell a joke and the joke is something like minorities. He's better at it than I am, but it's so funny.
His fans will aggressively dogpile anyone who calls him out for being transphobic or racist or homophobic or anything like that. It's just odd. Like, he is a grown man making these videos.
Source? I was the doctor that performed this procedure on young Nick Foster, and the results are panning out exactly as we had planned.
I think I agree with everything he says. Probably. I don't know. It's hard to pay attention to his videos because I am so overwhelmingly attracted to him. I can't focus because I get too horny.
The only reason I don't find myself hoping that Nick Foster fails in every step of his life is because he did the world the disservice of creating a human child. One that I wish grows up and can escape the sweaty hands of the disgusting man who created him. Oh, and also he's in denial of his quickly receding hairline.
And all I can think about is how good he fucks, because I can tell from his videos. You can just tell that about the guy that he fucks good. Bottom line is, this guy fucks.
He is a terror and a threat to the internet, and he needs to be wiped off of the internet forever. I hate you, Nick Foster. I hate you, Nick Foster.
Also, I ratioed him, so L, you fell off, young boy better, etc.
That was a great show, you guys. That was a great show. They're filming that right over there. Yeah. This is all filmed on a set, by the way, in front of a live audience. Hey, can I hear it, people? Can I hear it, people? Can I hear it, people? Silence. Good. Remember what happens if you don't listen to me. So I've said a decent amount about Nick Foster already, but I think the best way for me to impart the dredge through mediocrity that his content is to just watch some of it together. Listen, I don't want to do this just as much as you. They're gonna have to Clockwork Orange me and like strap my eyes back for me to watch this. I'll just be yelping the whole time. I'm gonna have my cameraman just tie me to a chair with a straitjacket on. Stop, I can't see another straw man. I can't see another straw man. All right, so this is the only non-scripted part of the video. I've just gotten this Nick Foster TikTok compilation, and we're gonna take a look at it together. So
we, people of all colors, need to speak up at a time like this.
You know, for a girl telling us all to speak up and use our voices, you sure do whisper a lot.
Okay, that was the joke. Yeah. Okay, so I guess it was like a play on words, like speak up. She was being quiet. That's cool. That's great. Let's watch the next one, because I feel like it's got to go uphill from here.
Charlie D'Amelio says, I think you missed the whole point of the video. This is not the time to make a joke, sir. Well, ma'am, I think you missed the point of jokes, because all times are the right time to make a joke.
And the punchline?
Maybe that explains why I have more followers than you.
Okay.
What do you mean she has more? Wait, how many?
I really enjoyed that one as well. I really liked how it was funny because he was like, oh, I have more followers than her, and then she had more followers than him, which I thought was really funny. Nick Foster's lawyers have served me a subpoena. You know what? Let's give him the benefit of the doubt. Rule of threes. Let's watch another one of his TikToks, and let's watch him just knock it out of the park. I would like to see him killing live at the Apollo after this one. A Netflix special for Nick. Let's see it.
Little Lee Ninja asks, are you still voting for Trump even though he's the reason this is all happening?
Okay.
Well, Little Lee Ninja, I'm a small business owner, so I'm not that thrilled to vote for Democrats after they shut down the economy for 3 months, villainized businesses for trying to reopen, and then celebrated when looters and rioters burned down businesses all across the country. And even though Trump has been working to reopen the economy, making all of our lives better, and actually condemned the looters and rioters, he has said some insensitive things on Twitter. Tough choice.
It says Nick Foster jokes, and I'm not getting the jokes, really. Can I just level with you guys for a second? This is so hard to watch. I scrolled back on this guy's Instagram. He says he's been writing jokes for like years and years and years. And the lack of confidence or character or anything he delivers them with is almost astounding. He sounds like he's reading them from a teleprompter. It sounds like he got these from like a Jay Leno book about how to be the funniest kid in your middle school class. It is so dry and like unemotive and boring to watch. Oh, fuck, it's because Lizzo was fat, guys. Whoa. Holy shit. Wait, is Lizzo fat? L-I-Z-Z-O. Huh. Yeah, I guess he's right. I never noticed that. Yeah, she is. She is fat. That's crazy. Yeah. No, he really killed that joke. That's quite observational. I didn't know that she was... This guy doesn't miss. This guy is really good at making jokes, and I'm laughing a lot at them. So to clarify, I just don't think it's effective to try to like disprove any of Nick's arguments with arguments of my own, just because he's like kind of a troll. So I'm not going to try to do that, but we're going to move on to another video now.
Black people love explaining away the higher crime rates in the black community by saying they're over-policed, while also telling white people, you wouldn't last a day in my neighborhood. Hey, quick question. Why wouldn't we last a day in your neighborhood?
What are we doing here? I came here looking for comedy, and it's crazy because the only one that can hear what you're saying right now is my dog in the other room. He's going fucking crazy. Once more, Nick Foster jokes with a really great punchline that makes everybody sort of chortle and chuckle and dance around in a circle and have a really good time. I heard the crowd guffaw and piss themselves laughing after that one. Really, really good job, Nick. That was super funny. Okay, listen, I promised myself I wouldn't try to disprove any of Nick's arguments, but here we are. I'm just going to try to do this as fast as possible, and I'm going to read it off here. A facet of the argument is that over-policing of neighborhoods results in more crime. If you are over-policed in the way that black neighborhoods and communities are, then of course there's an influx of people in prison for crimes that other perpetrators are not being convicted for. When there are gaps in the community, often in the space of adults who need to provide for children or family, then you are more likely to be forced into crime. Poverty is one of the most obvious correlating factors in crime. This of course would make a neighborhood more dangerous because people have to commit crime to get by. For examples of this, see how the war on drugs and criminalization of drugs has created the grounds for an illegal drug trade, which is what a lot of gang violence is for. If you deny these lines of reason, then you're implying that you literally just think that minorities and black people have genetics that make them predisposed to committing crime, which is fine, because then I guess you simply have genetics that make you more likely to marry your first cousin and die in a John Deere tractor accident. I don't think he internalized any of that, sorry. You know what? I am actually having a blast right now, so I feel like we should go for one more round with the Nick Foster video. You know what I put myself through for this fucking channel? You know what I do to myself? I'm getting stomach ulcers when I watch this guy's content. My vision goes blurry and I start to black out. I get a migraine. Every single time a video lacks a punchline, I develop another kidney stone. All right, one last video.
Okay, ladies, let's try this again. We're tired of these men making insensitive jokes. They can't repopulate the earth without us. So let's all band together and stop making babies so the...
It's because women wear makeup, so he has makeup on. Got it. That's actually pretty good. That's... I mean, say what you will, but George Carlin lives on in the spirit of this man.
Okay, guys, the women don't like jokes, and they want us all to die. So we have no other choice but to respect their wishes.
Okay.
It'll start slow, with the oldest amongst us dying first. But as the population begins to age up, civilization will begin to break down, sending hundreds of millions of people into poverty and despair. You'll be lucky if you die first. But as you witness all of human civilization evaporate into nothing and everyone who's left suffer needlessly solely because of the spite of women who can't take jokes, just remember that everyone has agreed to be on their best behavior. Because that's definitely how it would go down in this completely unrealistic hypothetical situation. There's dark days ahead, boys. But just remember, no matter how dark it gets, at least you'll never have to hear another joke that hurts your feelings.
What? I don't even understand this one. So I guess people are mad because he made a joke about the solution to this scenario being like tying people down and assaulting them. And so now he's just saying like, whoa, wouldn't it be way worse if humanity died out? And so I guess his logic is like, in this weird alternate universe hypothetical situation, you can have human civilization die out because of cancel culture, SJW propaganda, Joe Biden vaccine, or you can allow offensive jokes and fuck and just like slay pussy all the time. Tell you what, let's check out his recent TikToks because I feel like that's an old compilation for 2020. He's probably leveled up.
You remember when folks like you went into Africa and kidnapped folks that looked like me?
Oh, that wasn't me. That wasn't me. You're talking to me, Buster? I wasn't me. That wasn't me back then. That wasn't me in the history. That wasn't me in the history. That wasn't me. You realize that wasn't me. I wasn't even born yet. That wasn't me. Oh my fucking god, I get it. The same shit every time. It is the same shit every time. All right, let's check out another one. Oh, pause. In the background of this one, Nick and I have the same microphone. Mic twins. You know what, Nick? Let's set aside our differences for one day and share the beautiful brotherhood of Shure SM7B microphones. Never mind, this video doesn't even contain a joke. He's just lip syncing to an audio. This is not even content. Rapid fire. Rapid fire. Give me another fucking video.
Okay, Batman, we'll take it from here.
And the caption is, they're not African American if they're from Atlanta? I don't even get this hill that he's dying on. Oh, and judging by the comments, he's not even dying on it. He is getting executed by firing squad on this molehill. Okay, so he's a troll, right? So he knows that this isn't how anything works at all, ever, I think. He knows that African American isn't like referring solely to a nationality, but it's like referencing someone in America with African heritage who usually isn't able to trace back that heritage because their history was erased with slavery. He knows, right? He can't not know that. I'm going to assume that he knows this and he's epic trolling me. He's tugging on my leg. Not a gay part of the leg. He's doing it in a non-homoerotic way because Nick is straight and he slays pussy. Now, I gotta say, that was a great one, Nick. Was that from your Tight 15 from the Comedy Store? Is that the one that got you the standing ovation? Another one, another one, another one, another one, another one, another one, another one. Oh, this is gonna be epic. Oh, this is gonna be so epic. Okay. Oh, he just pwned her. Smartphone. This is iFunny 2011 homepage banger jokes right here. Where's your burner account on Imgur, Nick? This is gold. Hold on, I'm hitting up the writing crew for Late Night with Jimmy Fallon. I think you'd be a great fit, man. If you like faux Burnham audio, delete your account. That's the real hate speech. Nothing that Nick is saying, just like the 15th Bo Burnham audio on TikTok this month. Stop it. The whole buffet? Okay. That's Lizzo. Lifting weights. What? That was it? You were so focused in just saying that Lizzo was fat that you forgot to make the joke. You just ended up replicating like a common white girl Dory tweet from 2015. Me when I get my workout on and it's an absolute slay. Me when I was hungies and had a big burger and now I have to work it off by walking my doggo. Actually, he is 37. This happened yesterday for him, so I am starting to understand things now. Another one, another one, another one, another one, another one, another one.
What do you guys think is the biggest turnoff when it comes to girls? Ladies, let's take some notes.
Oh, by far the biggest one is whenever they're talking.
Okay. Henny Youngman is sending you a cease and desist in his grave. His delivery is so weak, and dare I say, beta. He is soyful. Nick has been banned from TikTok, I think, 10 times at this point. He's on his 11th account. They've even tried device banning him, but he just uses new phones. Nick doesn't complain about being banned on TikTok, though. He wears it as a badge of honor, which makes sense, because if he was complaining, that would frustrate me, because he knows the game he's playing. He's not dumb. Okay, he's an adult, but despite his facial structure, he is not an 8-year-old, I swear. Of course, if your only goal is to fuel the algorithm with constant interaction on your controversial posts that people are going to report you for, on an app where the moderation system does not listen to physical people and it's basically just a robot, you're gonna get banned. That's how it works. It's not very impressive that he keeps on getting banned. I could get banned 11 times if I wanted to. You know what? He would probably come at me for not having any bans, and also for having less followers than him in his heyday when he had like 1 million. But in the end, popularity is not an indicator of quality. You know what? Ed Sheeran is the second most listened artist on Spotify, and if you put him on anywhere that isn't a Forever 21 or a Millennial's Baby Shower, you will be drawn and quartered. Also, if popularity is the metric, then Nick's YouTube channel that he has uploaded 10 episodes of a podcast where he interviews creators with massive cult followings is inferior to mine. Nick, 15 videos in and only 3,500 subscribers. Yikes, what happened to those 1 million TikTok soldiers in your Instagram bio? However, I gotta recommend it. If you haven't checked out his YouTube channel yet, it's a hidden treasure. It's got powerhouses of comedy such as Fat Bitches Upstairs, the Citizen Kane of YouTube. I'm going through his Instagram right now, and Nick Foster supports Free Palestine? I cannot nail this man down for the fucking life of me, but nice. Yeah, I guess. I don't know. Maybe Nick is just trying to cope with his gradually dwindling relevancy by erratically aisle hopping between different topics, like he's playing Frogger. I'm waiting for him to pivot to third wave intersectional feminism. I'm kidding. He would go directly to turfism. He doesn't care. I guess Google Trends are a poor indicator, though, because why would anybody Google Nick Foster, right? To laugh? Sure thing, buddy. Are you confused, befuddled, left dishearteningly void of laughter, joy, grins, chortles, and the like? Because so am I. Many have laid criticism at Nick's flimsy conservative reactionary views, and for good reason. He defends them with the grace and poise of a 9-year-old making their first unregistered Hypercam 2 flash game glitch tutorial from 2007. But really, in the end, we don't get anywhere from calling this guy transphobic or racist or illogical or bigoted or hard-headed or annoying, because that is the point. We especially don't get anywhere from pointing out his logical fallacies or anti-academic tendencies, because let's be real here, he knows. You know, it is commonly thought that reactionaries and fascists benefit from making dominant culture look like counterculture. So, of course, trans people and people of color and women are measurably worse off than white cis men, but it's advantageous for Nick to live all day in a fantasy world where their quests for liberation are somehow oppressing him. It is also convenient that this allows him to take a sarcastic victim complex tone, which can be incredibly effective at manipulating young people. He kind of reminds me of the alt-right pipeline that was spurred by creators like PewDiePie and Leafy is Here and others. So, to recap, Nick doesn't care about your feelings, or facts, or reality in general, and he especially doesn't care about you. What he does care about is making people directionlessly angry and funneling them into circular patterns of interaction that never end, constantly fueling the algorithm to prime his page for more outrage, more blah 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 blah. It's interesting because in my opinion, he's not even particularly good at this. It seems like it'd be easy to take the lowest blow and just post something generally outrageous, like something impossible to substantiate, even a conspiracy theory about how like 8th wave feminist trans women are trying to restrict cis men from boarding ferries. But even so, some of his videos just don't hit the nerves that others do. For instance, on that Lizzo video I posted earlier, the one that made no sense about her lifting weights, that one doesn't have that many comments because it didn't spark an outrage, because it didn't make sense. He is, though, remarkably remarkably good at producing outrage from teenagers, especially misogyny-affected teenagers who have a lot of experience with creepy, dismissive, and irrational men. So, of course, he's used this ability many times over the course of his now 10 banned TikTok accounts. He has stitched, duetted, sent hate to young, vulnerable middle and high schoolers who could not mentally deal with that amount of hate and attention. A reminder that he is now a 37-year-old father. God, if I was his kid, I would be so embarrassed. Imagine walking into the school bus from your gated Florida community and having your classmate be like, hey, your 50-year-old patriarch of your family stitched me on the federal TikTok platform, and now there are a bunch of neo-Trumpians telling me to step into the Floridian acid lakes to cis my gender. I would lie. I would literally lie about what he does. Oh yeah, my dad, he does multidisciplinary social media work, creating a cohesive brand across multiple platforms. Oh, really? Because I saw him doing a Yahoo podcast with the ghost of Dick Cheney. Yeah, I'll disconnect your oxygen pack and you'll have to raw dog the sweltering, polluted Tampa atmosphere. I guess really what I want to get across with this video is that Nick Foster is really boring and unfunny. Not from a leftist perspective or whatever, but from a content creator and comedian perspective. He is about as compelling as the teenagers he criticizes. Maybe less compelling. I have never seen Nick hit the renegade well once. So I guess I'll leave this video with one last thing to say to Nick Foster. Here is an open letter to Nick Foster. What do you gain from constantly wearing a mask? What do you gain from constantly enveloping yourself in an impenetrable fog of irony, sarcasm, and combativeness? What do you gain from making every person who gets close to you stumble through the brambles of your performative unlikability? It feels so reactive, volatile, even. It feels like a defense mechanism. Maybe to prevent people from criticizing your uncritical thoughts, maybe to protect the integrity you feel you have to have as a man, maybe because you're simply scared to let people in, maybe you're not interested to let people in, or maybe this is all a source of profit for you. All I can say is that it's not interesting. It's not compelling. It's not helpful or insightful or funny or captivating. It is pathetic and embarrassing. Remember how weird it was in your youth when your teachers or coaches that you disliked tried to join in on gossip? That weird permeating sense of like, why are you here? Why do you care? Why is it your business? Do you enjoy being that person for young people now? Do you want to be disliked? Do you just not care? Is it just a job? I don't know. All I know is that you're not going to be able to feign surprise or sarcasm or ineptitude in 8 years when you find out your kid hid the flyer for their second grade parents' career day because they felt too humiliated to have you come in and talk. Because they felt fucking embarrassed by you. Is there time to reverse this legacy? I don't know. It won't gain you notoriety or praise in any field as long as you go at it. What, comedy, entertainment, politics? Nothing. You are on a direct trajectory to sputtering out until your career is ashes and you're floating on the cold vacuum of irrelevance, trying to put on a happy face. And you know what? I do hope you're happy, Nick. I do hope you're happy. I'm kidding, of course, Nick. Just trolling. Go fuck yourself.
So you're telling me this guy is a criminal? Because it seems like he just doesn't do shit.
No, he doesn't do anything.
Yeah, because it was seeming to me like he didn't do anything, and it was just kind of
no shit at all.
No shit?
Okay, he
cool.
just kind of like sits there. Sometimes he points a text over his head or lip syncs an audio.
Okay. God, I really wish I did not swallow that entire package of cigarettes during the intermissions.
Do you think there's anything we can do about this guy, detective?
Listen, sweetheart, sugar honey, Care Bear, stevia package.
Get to the point, please.
This perp, I mean, he's clearly chronically uninteresting and the worst, but I don't know if the coppers would be even willing to watch more than 30 seconds of his TikTok compilation on YouTube.
Suppose it was always a long shot. Guess he'll just still be out there on the streets, or in his heated content creation studio, same thing.
My thoughts exactly. Now, I have a call about a Maltese Falcon to... Say, why do you care about this guy so much in the first place?
Well, you see, I'm Daria Foster.
Oh my God, you're his mother?
What? No.
You're his wife, then, right?
You thought that woman's name was Daria? The one in the... What?
Oh, you're his...
I'm his daughter.
His daughter! That's crazy, but I knew that. I already knew that, actually.
It's a full circle thing to the monologue that Ro did about how his kids will be disappointed in him.
I have no idea what you're talking about. Say, these cigarettes aren't sitting well with me and... Excuse me a second. What's the issue? No, that can't be.
What happened?
Police reports from all over the tri-state area.
Detective, what happened?
Somebody gave guns to every dog in a 2.5-mile radius. It's a bloodbath.
Hey, thanks for watching today's video. If you really enjoyed what you saw here today, consider supporting me on Patreon. The money will go towards making better videos for you guys and maybe eventually turning these videos into my career, fingers crossed. Also, you can get your name in the credits of every video. Isn't that cool and awesome? We have 3 tiers, one for $2, $5, $10. You can get fun behind-the-scenes content, text posts. You can get the songs that I sometimes put in the background of my videos that I make for them, and just sort of like general analysis and stuff about the videos themselves. I just added a tier called Epsilon Mail, which is $20, and for that pleasure, you get everything in the previous tiers, plus you get to suggest 3 words or topics a month that I'm required to work into my jokes in my videos that month. So, if you want input on 3 of my jokes a month, go check that one out. If you guys keep supporting me at the rate you have already been supporting me, I will explode into gratitude and have to make merch or something. Wouldn't it be funny if I just ripped like 2013 Smosh merch and we all wore it in a post-ironic fashion? That'd be really enticing. Anyways, the support that you have all given me over the last, 2.5 weeks, it is absolutely crazy, and I am humbled. I'm going to have to do a 10K subscriber special in my first month, which is just wow. Take care of yourselves, take care of others, be kind to yourself and others, and remember that you are loved, truly. As always, it has been an absolute pleasure. Bye!
You've seen us talk about this shit 100 times, but you watch it cause you care about the content. Oh, and people